Would the war in Donbas change course if Ukraine's secret weapons system made a breakthrough on the battlefield? On September 25, 2025, North Korea sent 87 tanks into Donbas under Russian coordination, supported by artillery spotters and Orlan-10 drones, BMP-2 vehicles, BTR-80 transporters, and T-62 and T-72 tanks were all part of the column. Their objective was to quickly and forcefully breach Ukrainian defenses. However, was ready. Every road had been mined, every coordinate locked. Targeting systems were connected to French and British intelligence. The advance became chaotic when HIMARS, Caesar, and FPV drones struck within seconds. That was just the beginning. Ukraine had deployed a weapon no one had anticipated. Quick, silent, completely self-sufficient. What was this covert system, and how, in less than an hour, could it destroy an entire armored force? Satellite images confirmed the movement of a large armored column. At 3:13 a.m., 87 North Korean tanks had been covertly moved into Russian territory, then redeployed to eastern Ukraine. The group advanced into Donbas, crossing the border under cover of darkness. Headlights turned off. Orlan-10 drones and Russian artillery spotters guided them along narrow country roads. From afar, it looked like a typical reinforcement operation. But on the ground, something was wrong. It was pitch dark in the villages, not a trace of civilian life. Windows boarded, roads empty, too silent. In 3 lines, the armored column moved forward. T-62s and T-72s led the way. BMP-2s and BTR-80s followed close behind. Every vehicle fitted with reactive armor and thermal sights. None of it would matter. Ukraine had prepared this valley for weeks. Recon drones had mapped every curve. Special forces had marked every choke point. Ukrainian fire control systems were receiving real-time data from French SIGINT teams and British satellites monitoring every move. The trap was set. At 3:21 a.m., the lead T-62 in the center column struck a hidden anti-tank mine. The 82,000-pound vehicle flipped onto its side, its tracks torn apart by the blast, a fireball erupting 60 feet into the air. Moments later, a BTR-80 troop carrier hit a second mine, obliterated instantly. Debris and fragments scattered across the frozen road. Chaos followed. Radio channels filled with frantic shouting. Engines roared as tanks tried to reverse, only to hit more mines. Ukraine had created overlapping mine corridors that trapped every lane, forward and back. One by one, explosions lit the valley. Fuel containers ignited. The armored column froze. The night sky turned black with smoke. The only light came from burning wrecks and the faint red beams of targeting lasers from Allied and Ukrainian drones above. Artillery units positioned on high peaks had already locked their fire zones. French Caesar guns, British AS-90 howitzers, all waiting for a single order. At 3:27 a.m., the Ukrainian commander gave the signal. Fire. Artillery shells landed with surgical precision. 18 miles away, guns thundered. The first round struck fuel trucks and command vehicles, rupturing armor, igniting secondary explosions. Within minutes, the valley became a blazing graveyard of steel. By sunrise, silence returned to the valley. The smoke still lingered above twisted steel and frozen ground, a reminder of what the night had taken.